Never mind the weather. Republicans are very excited to get their convention started this week, trying to make up ground against President Obama for Mitt Romney to win in November. Neil King joins us right away from Tampa. Neil, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, does the weather delay cause significant problems here for the Republicans?
The problem, it's funny because after all, as it turns out, they probably wouldn't have even had this delay if they knew what today was going to look like, because this isn't going to be a big storm disruption. As it turns out, you can see behind me, there's not a lot of storm activity going on here. I think the problem that is going to be created isn't so much a shortening of the convention into 3 days. They can do plenty in the 3 days ahead. I think the main concern here at the moment is whether Isaac going up into the Gulf creates a whole kind of counter-narrative, sort of split-screen convention where people are watching the activity here at the same time as they're possibly watching, you know, some big landfall in New Orleans a day or so from now, and whatever that might bring.
Now, another challenge for the Republicans, getting people really fired up. I mean, these events are elaborately choreographed, highly controlled affairs. Why should people pay attention?
You know, it has been a long time, decades really, since these things had suspense in terms of their outcome. It isn't really what they are. I mean, it's basically a moment where the party obviously rallies itself, gets its own act together, gets the base together, and that's been going on here and will be in the next couple of days. And they have 3 hours essentially in the next 3 nights, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, to communicate their message to the country. And it's all about that. It's about message, about you know, party unity, and sort of taking advantage of the airwaves, which is a rare moment in a campaign. Even if it is kind of a big infomercial, basically.
Now, speaking of trying to inform voters about their platform, there are a lot of policy holes that haven't yet been filled in, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's the case. It's certainly Romney and now his running mate, Paul Ryan. I mean, they've come out with some sketchy stuff. It's about, you know, the big picture things, how they want to bring down spending, how they want to revamp the tax code, but without huge details. It's a lot of the gains are sort of put out. Few of the pains that would be entailed in getting there are spelled out. And this is not going to be the place for doing that. And it's not even necessarily clear how much the Romney campaign in the next 2.5 months is going to lay all that out. You can only assume that in the debates, and there will be 3 presidential debates starting in October, that it will be in those debates that Romney is going to be pushed, as will President Obama, to put more specifics out on some of these programs they're talking about.
Now, for viewers at home trying to figure out what they should pay attention to with their limited amount of time, what are the things to look for, the primary speakers to watch for over the next few nights?
Well, tomorrow night will be an interesting night. It's going to be Ann Romney's big kind of debut on the national stage. I think there's a lot of people that will be interested in seeing what she's like. She will come before Chris Christie, you know, the New Jersey governor, who should be pretty entertaining and combative in his way. On Wednesday night, we're going to see kind of a dollop of foreign policy. John McCain is going to take the stage, though not during network prime time, but Condoleezza Rice. So we're going to see a certain focus on that front. And then, of course, on Thursday night, will be the, you know, culminating night where Marco Rubio will give kind of his big speech, the senator here from Florida, big rising star and Hispanic, and then we'll introduce Mitt Romney, and he will come out and do his you know, acceptance of the nomination. That's obviously the biggest moment of all. Overall, I just think, you know, what are they going to say about his biography? How are they going to present him? What are they going to make of his business career, of his religion? It's a kind of a repackaging, in a way, of the candidate as he goes forward into the general election. They're going to be spending a lot of money when they come out of here because they're going to have their general election funds to start spending. So I think a lot of what we're going to be looking at is, all right, what exactly is the sort of image of Mitt Romney that they're going to put forward now that it really matters and now that we're into the final stretch.
Well, you will be all over it along with the rest of Wall Street Journal's journalists down there in Tampa. Neil King, thanks so much for joining us this morning.